Previously on No More Practice, we met Chris Browne from Financial Design for Life. Chris wants to sell off a book of clients in order to attract new Gen X and Y clients.
When I was a young guy and I desperately needed advice, I went and sought it, and at that time I was actually a BDM with MLC, and the whole experience actually let me down quite a bit.
We also met Brett and Ian from the Selector group, who, along with the help of Barry Lambert as a business mentor, are on a quest to raise a $1 million investment.
Barry basically said, I've been there before, I know where you're at, and this is what you're going to face. And I was like, wow, it was like a crystal ball.
This week, we hear what Barry has to say about the boys' plan for their business. Will he be able to help them raise $1 million?
So what do you see are the major risks that you need to guard against in some of these businesses going forward?
I would see the biggest risk of potentially hiring the wrong people.
Okay, because as you grow, managing the team becomes the problem. You just got to make sure that you don't lose focus and to focus on the right things, the things that really matter to the business, and not things that someone else thinks matters to the business and in fact just destroys the business. Debt, of course, from a business point of view, from a return point of view, will give you the best outcome.
Yeah.
Yes.
However, debt means that with a bank, you've probably got a mortgage.
Yes.
Mortgage a house or so.
We're open to both. We really don't know enough about this level of funding for a business like this that technically hasn't made a cent in 3 years.
Hasn't made a cent because you've been growing the business.
That's right.
Putting it back
Everything's
in.
gone straight back in.
Yeah.
Steered towards more equity than debt from a conversational perspective.
Okay, so you're looking for an equity partner then, you've sort of resolved. So you should just go slow on those new businesses. Build from a position of strength first. You've just got to concentrate on those little cash cows you're building and make them into very big cash cows. I imagine that the judges will want to make sure that you not only know what you're doing, but you're seeking advice, and that you can achieve that growth without imploding that business. You'll get there. Don't rush too quickly towards it. In summary, I guess, obviously you'll need to talk to the banker about your funding. You need to talk to someone about that equity. Make sure you got the lawyer on side to advise you as appropriately. And also your accountant has probably got a lot of experience dealing with other businesses, and they may be able to assist you.
Barry has suggested they hire people who share their vision. They choose equity over debt, that they slow down their growth and focus on core business, and to seek a range of advice in key areas.
But you've got to remember this, that at all times you are the business. You know all about the business. These people are here to help you, and don't let them sidetrack you too much. Otherwise, you start to go around in circles.
Yep.
So good luck.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Now, it'll be up to Brett and Ian to navigate through the differing advice whilst maintaining their confidence and vision. So our mentors have provided valuable advice. Let's see if our panel of judges agree.
Barry quite rightly questioned whether the business is already too diversified and raised the question of whether they should continue to diversify.
I want to see what they do with their clients that's repeatable, that keeps getting clients coming back to them and keeps getting them new clients to allow them to keep growing their business in the future once someone would invest in them.
I need to get more clarity around how many clients they're talking to, their prospecting activity, how they turn those prospective clients into real clients.
If they're looking to raise $1 million, I think they should do it on their own, just from family and friends. I think it's way too early to be going to the market for money.
Last week, Chris explained to mentor Robbie Bennett his vision for the future.
I'm an advisor from Melbourne, and I've got a parcel of clients that I'd like to sell.
This week, Robbie has an on to react to Chris's plans. The first thing Robbie wants to check is if Chris has insurance to cover him down the track.
Your PI policy. any potential purchaser is going to say, are these clients covered if they come back and sue later on for bad advice they may have got while they're under you?
Yeah.
Does your PI policy cover you? Does it have a run-off period for once they leave you?
I'm not sure. I'll have to. I mean, I just need to get legal
You might need
advice
to
in that
ask
space.
your dealer group and maybe get some legal advice on that, because you don't want somebody coming back to you 3 or 4 years later on.
Yep.
Again, I think you've got to establish first is what your business looks like and what it's really worth.
I haven't had an accountant come in and do a professional valuation, but nonetheless, you know, I look at a 3 to 3.5 multiple as a fair purchase price. So that's my expectation at this stage.
So if you've got 10 million producing 60,000, you're saying somewhere around about that $200,000 in round dollar terms.
Correct.
And with the life insurance book, you said it's around about a $300,000
Yep.
book. So 400,000. Your renewals on that 40,000.
Correct.
So it's about 40,000, and again you're saying around about 3 times.
Yep.
So you're probably 120,000 there. So we're talking $300,000 to $350,000 for this part of your business.
Correct.
So have you considered who you're selling them to yet? Are you selling them to a friendly or someone you don't care about, someone you care about, or is it someone internal?
Look, I don't want to sell them to someone internally, and the reason for it is quite a personal one. When I set up my own business, I had no money.
Yes.
And I had to sit down with my mum and look her in the
Yes.
eye, because I knew that she had a property in Burwood in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne that didn't have any
Yes.
debt attached to it, and,
Yes.
and I used that to secure my first investment loan to buy my first book of business. Really like to see a young buck starting out, but who's prepared to back himself and do
Yes.
something similar.
Are there 3 particular points that you think you should be taking as action points from here on?
I think the key things that I've got from this brief conversation is just making sure that we get some quality legal advice. Point 2 would be getting absolute clarity around the numbers. I think I was shooting from the hip a little bit when you were asking me those sorts of things. And then the final thing is more or less just sort of leaning on people's experience like you.
More work you do on the preparation for any sale, you'll enjoy the benefits of what you ultimately get for the business.
Yep.
Okay.
Excellent.
Very good, thank you.
Thanks a lot, Robin.
Good.
That's good.
Robbie's advice to Chris is to check his professional indemnity cover, to know what his business is worth, and to consider a range of possible buyers. So our mentors have provided valuable advice. Let's see if our panel of judges agree.
I'd love to see an answer to that, who you're going to sell to, because everything will be structured around that. If Chris can paint a picture of that Chris Browne from 6 years ago, who he's going to sell to and why, everything will flow quite nicely from there.
Sell a vision, sell a dream, what they can do with that book of clients, why it can enhance their own business. And I'm not sure that that Robbie sort of got to that. What's he going to do? Put an ad in the paper? You know, no. So he needs to seek out a couple of potential buyers and talk to them, understand what they want, I think. And I don't think Robbie was getting to that. Robbie's bought a lot of businesses, heaven knows. Don't know whether he's sold too many.
Next week on No More Practice 2, our sellers will have their work cut out for them. They will need to seek advice from a range of experts and adapt their plans accordingly. Judgment Day is coming. If you're like Chris and looking to find the right buyer, visit our Practice Toolbox and download the Identifying Prospective Buyers tool from Business Health. And remember, if you'd like to ask our experts a question or meet them via LinkedIn, head over to our Players page or join in the conversation by commenting on our blog.